Okay, so with that, homework number 3 is handed out. Bring that back. Try to catch up on stuff that we've got behind on Monday. In the meantime, please welcome Jesse Lane.
So how many of you guys want to start your own construction company? Half the room, 3/4 of them. You don't want to start your own company?
Family business.
You what?
Family business.
Family business. Perfect. I love that. We need you. I'm getting a phone call. It's my electrician.
Which one?
Jim. Jim, I'm teaching the class, man. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye. See, I love my tradesmen. Okay, so 90% of entrepreneurs fail in the first 5 years. You guys have probably heard that. I'm here to break my story out into 4 sections. Section number 1 is going to be my backstory, right? Section number 2, how I started my business. 3, how I sustained my business. And then 4, the effects it's had on my personal life, social life, personal life. Section number 1, my backstory. I grew up a skater kid in Pennsylvania, right? I see a lot of you with skateboards, so I can relate. I was, a pothead, smoked a lot of weed, sold weed, got kicked out of every single school I went to, public school, middle school, high school. I moved to Texas when I was 15, so from Pennsylvania to Texas, we drove down, 24-hour drive with our little dog named Luke. He's great, he's still alive, he's gotten ravaged by coyotes, and he's lived a hardcore life. But I immediately started a lawn care business. So I was 14, 15 years old, got my parents' riding mower and drove around the block and was like, hey, can I mow your lawn? Immediately at 15, I'm an entrepreneur. So I bought a little, this is me, sitting on my lawnmower. I had this dump cart, right? They're dump, so you have to rake grass, you can put it in there, but pretty much I put my weed eater and maybe a push mower if there was a small one, and a can of gas, right? So I would just go around and just crush it, 60 bucks a lawn, whatever. From there, I started my own, working for a kind of parent company, but I was kind of a sub, but had to start my own business pretty much and buy my own equipment. Custom crafted walking sticks and canes, those canes that are in Academy Sports. Who have seen a walking stick at Academy Sports? So I've made most of those, right? We'd sell across the country. Here I am, 16, 17 years old, spent 10 grand of my parents' money, right, which I paid back quick on shop equipment, and I would work till, midnight after the school work, and loved doing it. So I also bought and sold wild horses. So I'd go on Craigslist, I would buy a wild young horse for cheap, train it, get bucked off 17.5 times, put it in the round pen, and sell it for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Couple months down the road. I started working more in construction. I built barns, boat docks, sheds, and whatever I could. I'm like, Mom, let me build you a shed. You don't understand. It's going to be fantastic, right? So I built her a shed, and every time I built something new, they'd give me a new tool, right? So I got a skill saw, which my superintendent Casey here uses every day. The same skill saw, Makita, shout out. But a rigid nail gun, stuff like that. So I built up my knowledge. Also worked with the guys that built George W. Bush's home in Texas. So I was under them building these barns and remodeling these homes and doing the construction work, learning from them. When I was 19, I moved away. Who here is interested in this story so far? Am I boring the crap out of you? Yeah, I'm boring the crap out of everybody. No, got you. All right, so I've always, once I moved away, I was always working for other general contractors and tradesmen, right? A trim carpenter, a window installer, a tile crew, a renovations crew, whatever. Everybody that I could get my hands on. I've even worked at Chick-fil-A. So obviously, that to say, small beginnings, but I always would go back to construction, right? So one day, my boss, not the Chick-fil-A boss, recommended that I get my LLC. So I went to the bank, made it happen, figured it out first, what do I have to do? Went there, and that was the beginning of J Lane Construction, which is the name of my company. Section number 2, how I started my business. Went to the bank, made the LLC happen. In 2014, started doing handyman work. Who here does handyman work or can do handyman work? Okay, cool. So you guys are handy. So it does come down to doing great work, building that reputation at the bottom level. So you're at the bottom level, you're doing handyman work, you're like, what am I doing with my life? Well, the more clients you satisfy, the more reviews you get. Like I would go on Thumbtack, I would go on whatever, these others, Home Advisor, stuff like that, and I would just get these jobs, right? So who here has ever done a job off of like Home Advisor, or, okay, one guy, two guys, going once, going twice. All right, so I built a good reputation. At this point, I got my contractor's license, okay? Does anyone here actually want to get their contractor's license? Okay, good majority. Okay, was that a pinky? So you want to, okay, maybe. So I started doing bathrooms and kitchens, right? Which is kind of where most of you could probably start. It's the basics of a residential small project, a bathroom, right? So we did tons of the bathrooms, the kitchens, moved into room additions, right? And then I landed my first commercial project. I was 22 years old. Ultimately, it was a 6,000 square foot commercial remodel, full gut, for Brazil's waxing center, right? There's one for the resume. So pretty much would walk up there, with my boots, and I was 22 years old, no idea what I was doing, right? But I figured it out. Got the duct work and the returns, the supplies, the things Wayne is teaching you here. I applied everything I learned to that point, got the project done, got a video testimonial, put it on my website because they were happy with what I did, and it all went from there, right? So at that point, we were getting into upscale neighborhoods, built the business, more people were calling. That's how I started, okay? So at this point, we've done projects for Signature Flight. It's a private jet company, which Casey knows about that. How's your elbow? We've completely remodeled their whole entrance building, work with the management there. Homeowners associations call us. We've built brand new fitness rooms and centers, and we've worked for the city of Jacksonville. We've done a brewery, a Pilates studio, an iPhone repair store, a doctor's office we're working on right now. Okay, this is how I actually got my contractor's license. So those of you that want to get your contractor's license, this is helpful. I enrolled at AAA Construction School. Who here has heard of Rob? Nobody. Yeah, you know Rob. So this is a fun story. My friend Heath and I, we would go to all the different Paneras, right, in Jacksonville, and we would study our books, which were literally this many books. So we're walking in over the curb, and they're falling all over the place. But we get there, and it's literally a table just about as long as this, books across the whole thing. These Bosnian guys walk up, right? They're like, well, what do you guys study in there? And like, oh, we're getting our contractor's license, or we're trying to at least. He goes, where are you studying? What school you go to? AAA? I'm like, yeah, we're going to AAA Construction School. You know Rob? He's like, everybody knows Rob. So it's like, everyone. So if you're going to get your contractor license and you live in Jacksonville, Rob actually doesn't teach the class anymore. Gloria does. She's great, but it's Rob's business. Anyway, I studied hardcore for my license for 8 months. I didn't see any friends, didn't watch Netflix. I never watched Netflix, but no entertainment, stuff like that, which I hardly do ever, but I didn't do it at all, and I studied, right? So I sacrificed, lots of sacrifice, all while still running my company, right? I want to touch on education. All of you have a huge advantage over me, right? You're here at this class, you're learning how to learn. Wayne's teaching you how to think, he's teaching you how to look at the plans. I didn't have any of that, right? I had the on-site experience, it's very important, but I never went to college. I had to learn the business basics, right? Never took a business course. I had to learn the laws, the paperwork, the taxes. Yeah, he's probably not teaching you how to do your taxes here. Just saying, no offense. But I had to learn how to study. But I was hungry for knowledge. This reason I still have this company is because of hunger and persistence. Knowledge is power, persistence is key. Growing your mind instead of watching Netflix is a major plus. Okay? If you guys could attach that to the back of your head and get off Netflix and stop, not saying get off the phone, get on your phone, get on Instagram, get on Facebook, post LinkedIn videos, network, but don't just zone out, okay? So, mentorship. You can't do this alone. They provide opportunities to shadow, wisdom, and experience that you can't learn in class. Okay, so this is valuable, but you're going to need to get out there on site. There's a couple of you that have been on site. How many of you have actually been on site? Okay, so about half. Okay. you can't learn that in class. You just can't. It's different than book knowledge, right? I've interviewed seniors from this campus or whatever FSCJ. They come, I give them my construction test, which is like a 5-page thing, and I say, talk me through this. They don't know what a 2x4 is. They what?
It's basic.
Yeah, it's like, name the, I didn't bring any visuals. Sorry, this is my first time ever speaking in front of an audience, ever. So thank you. I give them a 1-page, is, hey, what are these? Studs. What's this? It's a header. Who here knows what a header is? Who here knows what a jack stud is? King stud? Nobody. Okay, so you need to learn that kind of stuff. How are you going to learn it? Work for a framing crew. How are you going to learn mechanical? Maybe go work for a plumber or a mechanical guy or an electrician. So on-site experience is everything. Okay, and employers are going to look more now these days for on-site experience versus your degree. Now, not to bash getting a degree, I think it's very valuable. Like I said, you have a one-up on me, but it's the other side of the coin is that on-site experience. Nothing like it. So if you didn't grow up in construction, I'd recommend working for a contractor for 5 to 10 years before trying to maybe start your own thing. Now, you have a family business. I think it's awesome. Work with them. If you maybe want to start your own thing in the future, you have that base. And you have the insight to what your family is doing. If you do have on-site experience, don't expect that you can run a business. It has nothing to do with running a business. Casey knows how to run on-site stuff. I have learned the business. We're a good team. He goes and starts his own business, not going to work. Okay? I try to do everything on site, not going to work. It's impossible. Section 3, how I've sustained my business. My business almost went out of business in 2016 when I put together a large framing crew. Okay? I was taking on small profit jobs. I don't know if you're learning, any of you have learned about margin here and what that actually means. But I had the big office, I had the employees, the trucks, the project manager, estimator, salesman, and carpenters, all the guys, right? And if it wasn't for a credit line, I'd be out of business. I'd be done. So I didn't truly understand margin. On an $80,000 job that costs you $60,000, how much money are you making? Nope. You're making literally nothing, okay? Overhead is an extremely real thing, okay? I was like, 20,000 bucks, oh man, put that in the pocket, I'm good. I gotta pay these guys. I have to pay, you guys understand, there's lots of overhead that goes into a business, and it's not just that, it's just the general expense of keeping your business pumping. I could be spending 30 grand a month, 20, 40, depends, on just overhead. That doesn't include the hundreds of thousands I'm spending to paying subs and paying, just the business general expenses, right? So let's talk about employees real fast. Who here is still engaged and interested in this? Okay, everybody, all right, cool. So I'm almost done. Who here has had a bad customer service experience? Yeah, okay. I mean, most of us probably have. Do you think the owner would treat you like that? Right, no. So every employee that you hire has their own fingerprint in your company. I love the way you're looking at me. You're like, no, it makes me feel good. It's like he's zoned in. Every employee has their own fingerprint in the company, right? So hiring the right people is what? Very important, yeah. So it comes down to the culture of the company. Culture is key, right? The culture is also a direct representation of the, anyone know? Owner. The owner's personality is going to be the head of, if this is my company, it's going to be the fingerprint of the employees. It's all connected, right? So owner's mindset is everything. So where is your mindset? Even if you're going to be a key player for the guy you work for, right? Where's your mindset? How can you help him? How can you help your boss? Or how can you have the mindset for your future company? Be prepared to eat your employees' mistakes, okay? As the owner. I've been harassed by past employees. Casey's phone was blowing up beyond comprehension. He would put our information across the internet, my personal address, right? And I've had employees steal money from me. I've had thousands of dollars just, I'm taking your money. you need to lick your wounds and keep moving. Thick skin is very crucial if you want to have your own business or be in the construction industry. Construction is not easy, okay? It's not for the faint of heart. It takes persistence and a thick skin. It's also, behind all the thick skin, it's all about relationships, right? So it's about the people that you come across, my electrician, you know, the relationships that you build, and even your employees are a huge benefit. So it comes down to integrity, character, and respect, okay? So there's a big respect. Also, the skill of delegation is a necessity. I've had to learn. I need to delegate this because I physically cannot do it. So you find your strengths, delegate the rest, even use Fiverr, okay? If you're gonna design a business card, go on Fiverr, have someone design it for like 10 bucks. Don't sit there until 2 a.m. when you need to be sitting there until 3 a.m. doing estimating the project or selling work or designing systems or project managing or all these other things that need to happen to run your business. Is anyone curious what software we use? 2? Should I skip it? Wait.
No.
Okay. All right. We use Buildertrend. So everything is on the phone. The customer has the app. We assign the subcontractors to each Gantt chart, right? Which, do you know about Gantt charts? It flows from one to the next, down from the left, top left to the bottom right. And then we move one schedule item. Yeah, you pull up Gantt chart. And then they get notified as we choose. We can choose notify all, and then brrr, everything gets moved. Ding, oh, we're moved till next week. Yeah, or we can type in, we had a problem. Okay, we pay our subs online. No more truck tag, right? So basic stuff. You guys are all pretty young and you understand phones and the internet. But truck tag is something that is long in the past. Meeting guys at gas stations, give them checks. That's what I'm talking about. Tracking expenses. It's all done in there. Okay? Who's ready for section 4? The effects on my social life. Or your personal life as you get started in this business. The first 5 years, you're going to be the owner. I'm talking to the few that want to be their business owner here. The owner, the project manager, the lead estimator, the bookkeeper, the admin, the accounts payable, the accounts receivable, the human resources, the salesman, the head of marketing, the video editor, the videographer. Every bit, if you want to go to my website, jlaneconstructions.com. Oh, cool. Is the client testimonials. Filmed it all myself. Edited all myself. I also film all my own vlogs and edit all my own vlogs. I'm a YouTuber. Okay, so Jesse Lane, if you want to subscribe. Notice I didn't say superintendent in that list. You gotta have someone else on site. You cannot be on site. And you need someone there 8 hours a day. Okay, 12 hours a day. 12 hours a day. No, I mean, you need to have someone there full time on all your projects at all times. You will not be successful if you try to be on site and do everything else, okay? So there's gonna be lots of late nights, early mornings, and you need to be able to sell projects. Who here thinks that they're a natural salesman or saleswoman? I like it. Who's that? You need to be able to sell projects. You need to understand the project, right? So you guys have this, this townhome or whatever. Do you understand that project? This is what, your 4th week in this class? 5th? You need to be able to understand the project. When I walk onto a job site, and I'm literally like 2 more minutes here, is I know the full project before I walk onto it. I walk them through their project. Oh, you want the door here, and I remember you mentioned this and that. Boom, you want this here. So they're like the other contractors we had are asking us questions. I'm telling them, you know, what they need to hear. So wisdom, knowledge is key. And wisdom is like the door. I don't know. Knowledge and wisdom. It's like, you know, one goes into the other. So I'm not sure if that makes sense. But your personality is also a big thing in business, right? So making people laugh, it's how you can be successful. You know what I mean? It's that personal connection. So if you mix your personality with your professionalism, right, you can be really successful. This is Jay Lane. It's Jesse Lane. You know, it's me. It's the guys I hire. It's you. Does anyone here want to start their business and know what it could be called?
Lime Rock Construction.
Lime Rock, okay. A lot of Lime Rock in Texas, so I can relate to that. But cool. So yeah, I mean, how does that relate to the client interaction? How does that relate to your personality? You know, so it's kind of like almost a personal brand, but it's your business brand at the same time, right? So, yeah. So I've gone on vacation like 1.5 times in the last 5 years, right? So not a lot of time off. I only hang out with friends that matter the most, okay? So I don't hang with the bloodsuckers, the time suckers, the energy, okay? I don't let them drain me. So do you want to be in the 10%? And I'm only be talking to 10% here as far as the business owner stuff, but do you want to be in the 10%? Because remember, 90% don't make it. I think that figure is actually higher. It's like 98 maybe, but try to be nice to you guys. Think of your life as a pie chart, and you know that your business will literally take up most of it for the first 5 years. Okay, until you have the money. So you like have the money from some family thing or whatever. That you can actually hire the people to do the tasks. If you don't have the money, you can do them for the most part. Hire a superintendent, hire these couple guys, get it done. Does that make sense? Pie chart. So, okay, there's nothing wrong with working for another company for the rest of your life. There's nothing wrong with that. We need you. I need you. Okay, the industry needs you. Everyone can't be a business owner. That's why 10%. I think it's a very fair thing. I almost prefer that you did work for someone else. Your life will be much, much easier. I can tell you that. If you are interested in starting your own company, understand the mountain ahead of you. Don't completely sacrifice your health, family, friends, spouse, all these things, but know that they may be, not your spouse, or your kids, but know that they may be placed on a 5 to 10 year hold. Okay? There's a space of your life, if you're going to start a company, there's going to be a holding pattern for extracurricular activity. There's going to be sacrifice, but every bit of the sacrifice brings joy. The construction field is extremely challenging, but extremely fulfilling. So whether you have your own gig or are working for an established outfit already, the hard work is going to pay off. And you'll really enjoy your career as long as you're pursuing your dream. But a dream without hard work is just a wish. That's my little rendition of that. So you can accomplish it. There's going to be sacrifice, but every bit of it's extremely worth it, and I wish you much success. Thank you.